because she actually has female friends, which is really cool because Hi peeps, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rinzi. I'm an artist, but I enjoy talking about mental hygiene, personal development, and spirituality. So if you're interested in any of this, please hit like and subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. As usual, instead of discussing about spoilers or the contents of the series and the manga, we are going to talk about the character instead. So today we will be talking about the last character. In Tomorrow I Will Be Someone's Girlfriend, which is Yuki. At a very young age, Yuki couldn't fully accept herself because of her scars and her perception of what others would think of her, especially men. She had an abusive mother who did nothing to support her, so she had to make her own living and pay for her own studies at a very young age. Yuki realizes that she can work as a rental girlfriend to gain quick money. Like I mentioned in the previous video, quick money can be really addicting. Even though she really dislikes her job, it definitely pays her bills. Even though Yuki grows up in a very tough background, she still chooses to put herself first in a way that doesn't harm herself, because a lot of the times the clients, especially men, could be very predatorish. If you had not watched my previous video where I discussed about being in the sugar bowl featuring Rina, feel free to check it out. I'll link it up above here somewhere. So yeah, being in this industry, it can be really toxic, especially to your mental health, and especially if you have to sacrifice your body just to please somebody else, it can definitely take a toll on your mental health. Although Yuki is not selling herself that way, but you can definitely see that it still took a toll on her mental health. Usually in industries like that, the clients don't really see you as a person. They don't really think of you as someone who is doing your job. You know, they don't think of themselves as a client, which sometimes can make them feel like they are entitled to demand more from you. And in Yuki's case, it definitely took a toll on her mental health. Long story short, Yuki eventually met a guy who fell in love with her despite her scars. When Yuki eventually told Sota about how she despises her mom because she used to abuse her as a child, he still chose to convince Yuki to leave her job and to stay with him. And at this point, he had already seen Yuki without any makeup on, so he knew that she had a huge scar on her face. However, the question is Sota actually in love with her, or is he just infatuated by her with his whole privileged boy savior complex? To be honest, I think it's the latter, because he doesn't spend enough time together with Yuki to get to know her personally. A lot of the things that she told him at the beginning is just a persona, it's just a character that she built up. And even though she did confess to him that a lot of the things that she shared with him are just lies that she made up, Sota still chose to stay with her, or at least he wanted her to stay with him, and he convinced her to leave her job because he doesn't like the idea of seeing Yuki with other men, accompanying other men, so he wants to have her all to himself. Honestly, do you even call that love? I wouldn't know, but I personally think that if you genuinely like someone, or if you genuinely want to be there for someone, asking them to quit their job just for you is a pretty selfish move. And of course, Yuki questioned Sota on whether or not he could support her studies, support her living, and pay for all her bills. Obviously, he couldn't do it. So I think he's just really infatuated by Yuki, and he wants this beautiful, pretty girl to stay by his side. And I think he kind of has a savior complex there, where he thinks that he could save Yuki from such a horrible environment. Even though Yuki chose to share a part of her life story with Sota, and she did consider what if she has a happy, healthy relationship with Sota, she did try to imagine, but in the end she still chose to walk away from Sota and to not take him as a client ever again. I personally really like her choice, even though I think that Yuki has a lot of childhood trauma and just trauma in general to unpack. I think what she needs is therapy instead of a boyfriend. I really like the choice where she chose to move away from Sota, because I don't think people who have so much to deal with are ready to be in relationships. I think that she is constantly avoiding herself. She chose this job because it enables her to portray a different persona where she don't have to confront her true self, which is her scarred self, which is Yuki with a low self-esteem. And also, I think the reason why she rejected Sota is partially because she knows that she couldn't love anyone back, because as cliche as it sounds, when you can't love yourself, you can't actually love somebody else. I think she's quite self-aware of that, but at the same time, she is also kind of self-sabotaging. She probably had questions like, what will happen if Sota chose to abandon her eventually? What will happen if he knows that she is not that good of a person? She is a generally really nice girl. It's just that when you have so much self-hatred, a lot of the times you can project that onto somebody else. And what differs Yuki from a lot of the characters in Tomorrow I Will Be Someone's Girlfriend is that instead of choosing boys to validate her, instead of jumping from one relationship onto another. Hi, this is Editing Runzi. I just realized that I made Yuki sound like she is the cool girl, or she is not like the typical other girl. That is not my intention at all. I'm just stating that Yuki doesn't really need male validation because she clearly has a lot of issues with men judging her. Although I do understand that the previous characters have a lot of pick-me characteristics, but let's be real, everyone makes mistakes even in real life. So regardless of the decisions that you make in situations like that, it doesn't make you any better than the other person next to you, because everyone's learning at a very different pace. She chose her own priorities first. She knew that her studies are more important. She knows that she has issues and she is not ready for any relationship. If not, I think she's a really depressed person and she just generally don't believe that she deserves love. I think that's the sad part, but at the same time, I really like how she could stand for herself. Instead of being codependent, she's clearly a very independent woman. And there's also another thing that I really like about Yuki is she actually has female friends, which is really cool, because a lot of the times in a lot of movies, series, or even mangas, the female character with mommy issues usually don't really have quality female friends. Yuki, she has Rina. She's really close with Rina, and even though she is a really secretive person who lives a double life, she still really valued the friendship and did confess to Rina about her scars and about her past, about her abuse. It clearly shows that she really values the friendship and she is not afraid to be around other women. When a girl mentioned that they don't do well around other women, or they just don't like other girls and they only have male friends, I always question like, why though? I can understand that sometimes women are programmed to go against each other. Since young, the media that we consume kind of portray other women as villains for some reason, like the evil stepmom or the other girl that is interested in your love interest, or the bitchy best friend, or whatever. It's always the other mean girl. And I do understand that things like that could happen in real life, because let's be real, we are all humans, we all have flaws, so mean people do exist. However, I think it's kind of absurd to think that everyone is the same or every woman is the same. If you're constantly projecting your insecurities onto other women, I think that you probably seriously need to reevaluate your beliefs and thoughts. Well, this is not to make fun of girls with no female friends, it's just a food for thought. It's kind of sad for Yuki to not be able to enjoy young love, although I don't think it's necessary. However, I think it sometimes can be beneficial, you know, as a part of life where you experience going through different types of relationships. But I think Yuki is definitely holding herself back and not allowing herself to fully have fun like people her age. On one hand, I do agree that people like her shouldn't be in a relationship in the first place, because not only you might be extremely insecure in the relationship, your insecurities might lead to a lot of conflict that shouldn't even be there in the first place. You know, you might self-sabotage a lot, you might blame your partner for things they had not done. I had seen a lot of things like that going on and on in real life. So I think that it's unhealthy. However, I also think that everyone deserves a chance to experience life, whether or not you want to be in a relationship. It's a part of life, you know. But honestly, who am I to judge? Because I think that I had been through that phase as well, where I'm constantly pushing people away, except that I'm not really pushing potential love interest away. I'm just pushing friends away, you know, family, support, just people in general. You know, I have so much insecurities in the past, so I can kind of see myself in Yuki. However, I still think that that's not the way to live. You know, I genuinely want to have fun. I just want to be around people that care for me. I want to be there for my friends, you know, like how Yuki is there for Rina. And I would definitely love to see how her character could develop more, because I think Yuki is one of the strongest character in Tomorrow I Will Be Someone's Girlfriend. She had gone through so much, and I don't know why none of these characters actually went to therapy. Like, I do understand that mental health care can be really pricey, but still none of these are mentioned in the whole series or the manga. But I do think that all these characters really need some help. So yeah, this is the last video for Tomorrow I Will Be Someone's Girlfriend. Honestly, I'm kind of proud of myself because I did not expect myself to actually complete the whole 5 characters. I thought that I'm just going to like do a few and, you know, give up eventually. I had already came up with the idea of my next video, which I'm not sure when I'm gonna upload or record, but I'm gonna do it as soon as I can. I really want to discuss about this book, which is My Dark Vanessa. I just finished reading it a couple of days ago. I'm just so lost of words. I don't know how to even start. I don't know where to even start. I have so much to talk about after reading this book. It's so good, but content warning though, if you guys want to pick up a copy for yourself, it might be triggering for some of you, so please check out the synopsis and the content warning first before you purchase or before you read it. I just love how the author portray everything in this book. It's just so realistic, even though it's a fictional work. It just felt so real. I really appreciate your time for watching this video and listening to me talk. If you have any questions or any topics that you want to discuss about, or if you just have any opinions at all, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I always enjoy reading your comments, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much and take care. Bye.